A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but once.
Welcome one and all, this is Blaezer RTW. This is battle number 1 of a YouTube channel that I've just started, just because I play the game quite a lot. I've only been playing it for about a year, or had the game for a year. I know it's like 13 years old, so I'm a bit of a latecomer. I've only been playing it online since June last year. This is the first multiplayer video that was done in June 2017, 1st of June 2017. As I'm speaking, it's currently April 2018, so I'm sort of ahead of myself with the commentary, but I thought I'd go back through and just sort of have a look, and you know, hopefully it'll be funny along the way. I'm by in no means claiming to be the best player ever. I'm not the worst player ever. I like to have a bit of fun, don't take it too seriously, so you'll see wins, losses, brutal takedowns of opponents, and total, you know, me getting destroyed in equal measure. You know, I'm not here to say I'm the best or declare I'm the best, just gonna do it because it's fun. And also my ulterior motive is that I need to start another channel which is going to be linked to a business at some point. So I want to get used to all the editing softwares and things like that I did back in the day, before life took over, and you know, when your dreams get crushed as a mid-20s, when you realise you're not going to be what you want to be in life, and you know, this, that and the other. So enough of my depressed mode. Let's get into the game. So yeah, as I said, I've been up, I had it about a year, so I'm from a sort of vague commentary, but I still don't know everything about the units or the controls or everything like that. So if you guys know any better, let me know. But you know, I don't mind being trolled, it doesn't bother me at all, but you know, I'm aware that I make stupid mistakes in this, and I'll probably say it as I'm doing it, as I'm watching it. So, you know, no need to point them out if you don't have to. Right, anyway, so let's get on with the game, and then we'll get more into things. I'll probably repeat things, so sorry about that if I do, but once I've repeated them a couple of times, I'll know I've said them, and then I won't say them again, and we can get on with actually commentating on the fun things. But the first few videos will just be spread out with breadcrumbs of my history when it comes to, you know, RTW and what I'm thinking at the time and things like that. So like I said, I've been playing the campaign game for ages before this video. Well, a couple of months, I should say, not ages. Got sort of seen the Prince of Macedon. Like I said, watched a few of his videos, then watched the multiplayer ones. Thought that looks a bit of alright, and yeah, decided to give it a go, and here we are. I must say, at the time, I wasn't aware of controllers. I come from a Civilization background, so I don't know if you know, Civ, it's a turn-based game, so you're really not in a rush to do anything, and you don't do any lifetime control, you know, live action controlling, as it were. You sort of just plod around and tick it, you know, happy days, the way I liked it. So, and when you're in the campaign game, because of that sort of background, I was pausing the game when I was battling in them, and because you can pause it and then sort of getting my troops attacking who they want to attack when it's paused, unpausing and letting them all doing it instead of letting it all flow in real time and just sort of doing it. So when I first got into this, and you know, the guy comes up in a bit, and I'm like pressing pause, and it won't pause, so I'm like, the hell's going on? And then I realised, this is going to be difficult. And the controls I was using at the time, like I said, I no background in any Total War or anything like that. I think I had Shogun Total War when it first come out, and then I got Civ 4, and then, you know, so it may have been a completely different sliding door moment had I chosen to stick with the Total Wars rather than play the Civilizations, because I probably would have ended up playing this game for 10 years rather than Civ 4, but hey ho, that's how we go. Yeah, so the control that I'm actually using, or the control style I should say, if you imagine I had a laptop and you've got the mouse bit in the middle, you know, the pad as it were, not the mouse, and then your keyboard sort of directly above it. I'm right-handed, so I was using the right hand for the mouse and the double clicking on the touchpad, and then using, I think it's like P and O, or it might even be the number pad to like do all your strafing of the camera and like all that sort of business. So my hands were crossed when I was playing. So I was kind of like sorted that out sort of relatively soon in the first few games, and actually went and just found my old mouse out from a desktop that I hadn't touched for years since back in the day. So I got that out, and then I was still sort of over the right hand side of the keyboard with my left hand, and then the left hand of the mouse. And it wasn't until probably 2 or 3 weeks down that I sort of thought, there's got to be an easier way than this. Or did I see a video on YouTube where the guy sort of went through it? It may have even been Prince of Macedon again. But now it's like you can go into these, press start. Don't know if you can do it here. Game options probably. No, you can't do it here. But in the main options, you can go into the options in the game bit. And then it says like controller setup, and I think this is like FP something style, and so my camera is on WASD for most of it, and Q and E, and then zooming in and out is R and F, and then your shortcut keys are sort of in and around the right of that. So yeah, that's the style I use now, but at the time I didn't. Anyway, let's get cracking with the battle, because it's a fairly long battle. I don't want to waffle on too much. I think that's all I'll do it now, because there's a bit at the end where I'm chasing down routing units. I'll forward through it fairly quickly. So nothing going on at my end yet. Macedon's come in fairly quick by the look of it, and trying to have a go at Greece. I suppose he's going downhill, so that might be his thinking. He's taken his cav in there to take on the Greek cav, which has now surrounded him. You would have... there's some spears in there as well, armoured hoplites. He's now sending in a couple of Royal Pikes to take out the Greek cav. He's sending in Spartans, which is now they're on the uphill, so he's going to be in trouble. I'm quite aware that Parthia is moving up towards me as well. There we go, we've got a few archers. So it looks like Macedon's general has now been enveloped, and that's not going to be good, because Macedon hasn't got the great... It's not the worst morale, but it's not the best either. And if that general goes, the rest tend to not be too far away. That's actually got quite a lot in it, that one, so that one might come back. Macedon infantry is quite good, but I think it really comes into its own when you get onto the large unit scale, and they're 120 man deep, because they take a while to kill, whereas in this situation it doesn't take too long to get them down to routing levels of morale. So yeah, it looks like it's a bit to and fro. Greece probably got the better hand. It looks like I'm actually... So we'll keep an eye out that corner. I will come up to my noob my noob tactic of sitting on top of the hill. Looks like I've got some Triarii there that aren't really doing a lot. I should have ran them straight into the cataphracts then, but never mind. Okay, so the cataphracts are taking out a few of the archers. My cav doesn't look like it's doing a lot over there. Like I said, I'm sort of using this weird control setup, so everything seems to be delayed. He's going to do a nice hammer and anvil. Is he going to get my general? No. You can see by this urban here with the little tags on top of them, the smaller flags, that they've got 3 upgrades. So all my 3 urbans have probably got 6 upgrades. I've probably got 6 upgrades: gold shield, gold attack, which is way OTT really for low money. Really, just silver. Silver shield is probably okay. He's just charged straight into some Triarii. They're not great. The morale's pretty rubbish. The morale's pretty rubbish, even when they're, even when they're upgraded quite highly. They seem to be doing alright there, probably because the general's right there. 3 of the cataphracts have routed. That's quite good. My cav, I'm actually doing something with it, routed the general, so that's happy days. Speaking of Triarii, there he is, back stabbing the general in the back, so that's good for me. Eastern factions and barbarians haven't got the best morale anyway. It looks like Greece has beaten off Macedon a little bit there. Was that routing unit coming back? Or was it about 28? 21? 26? Might have been that unit, I'm not sure. It looks like they're coming back, but against all those armoured hoplites, he's not really got a chance. Now the cataphracts have gone. Yeah, Parthia, it's got arrows, but I'm expecting myself, because I'm talking further down, I'm expecting myself to put a line of infantry and face the archers now, so that even when they're firing at me, even though they're uphill, if they hit me in the side or the back, it's going to do some damage, whereas if they hit me face on from downhill, they're not going to do anything. Looks like one of those units has come back. Oh, that's peasants. So he's getting his flame on. I'm not really doing a lot. I'm probably sort of got some confused controls going on and doing each unit individually rather than sort of selecting all of them. Right, looks like I'm going to send that Praetorian cav to go around the archers. No, they're just going to sit there and get flamed. So yeah, good tactic. I'm a pretty aggressive player in any game I've ever played. So for me to be sitting on top of the hill and camping is not, I'm aware that your hill position is the best position and it's kind of unfair. So it's probably just through more of a lack of being overwhelmed with the whole experience rather than me actually being a hill camper. I can't remember if I was getting any abuse for it. And it looks like I finally decided to take those archers out. Grease is lining himself up. You see, he's doing what I didn't do and sort of getting everything ready. Yeah, so a nice pile of dead there. A few little spots there. I don't know if I'm going to come down to Greece or not, but let's just forward it through now, because you can see up here by the battle timer that it's got to 50,000. We've still got 117,000 time to wait. So we'll fast forward for this, and then what I'll do is we'll get to this battle, watch this little bit, and then what actually happens right in the end. Let me do this and then I'll explain what happens in the end when we get to it. So I'm actually going to come downhill now. I sent my cav down to try and take out the archers, but there wasn't enough of them. I've actually gone for the, rather than keep all my cav together, split them up tactic, which is a good tactic, but you've got to remember it gives you more micro. And at this moment, my micro level is like 0.1 out of 10. So, not the greatest idea. So, yeah, let's get sandwiched between some cav and some hoplites. Yeah, not the greatest tactic. I think basically what's going to win me these battles is those 12 flag. I can't add up. Those 18 flags on top of those urbans, basically, that is basically just won me this battle. There's no tactics apart from sitting on top of the hill, which is probably won me the battle as well. The archers, you see, if I was this guy, I would be tempted to sort of, now it's easier, isn't it? But, you've got to send your archers round the side if he's got any arrows left. And be firing down the hill at the backs of mine and just sit your hoplites there, even if they've got to face up the hill. Or if you could line them up and then sort of skimmy them off to the left, up here and turn them so they're facing like that. So at least you're on a parity with them. But, look at my micro at the moment, so I'm no one to really speak. Yeah, I just noticed my name on here hasn't got the E in it. So, yeah, this is definitely the first battle. Because I changed that pretty much straight away, I think, because I thought there would have been a few Blaezers before me, so I thought I'd got to be unique in some form. I'll forward through this. What am I doing? Peeling? Yeah, I mean, these 3 urbans and a couple of bits here are going to take out that infantry. Not necessarily. I don't know what upgrades is. Hoplites have got 2, 4, so either silver sealed or gold shield, bronze attack. Yeah, I think I've just decided what I'm going to do is send them all in individually. Let's just forward through this on double, because double's not too bad. You can still sort of get an eye in for it when you're watching double. Sandstorm's coming in. Let's move a bit closer. Yeah, they're gone. Now I'm going to bring them round and come into the back of them. Charge the Praetorian straight into the spears. Why not? No, I thought they would round quite quick there, but obviously not. Has he still got his general? Right, what's this guy doing over here? Obviously not got shield, not shield, guard mode on. If you put guard mode on, I'm unsure whether it actually affects the attacking when they're battling, but I know what it does do is mean that they won't move from their area. So if someone attacks you or you're attacking someone and they run off like they're routing, they'll just stick where they are rather than do what he's done, which is run off. So yeah, eventually I've worn them down, and you know, just from those urbans have won this basically. So we'll forward it. And what actually happens is I'm going to cut the recording in a minute and then just cut to the end screen when we get to it. But essentially what happens is these guys here chase off all this lot. Because this game's actually scored. It's not LMS like I put in the title, but I'm a bit lazy to actually change that now. I thought these guys were going to take out these guys, but they didn't. And then what happens is these guys come across all the way and start, you know, I think they come past this guy and try to take out the general over here where the red line is. And then as soon as the general turns and faces it, or all those units turn and face it, it routes, and then it runs back this way, and then it meets this guy, and then it runs back over that way. No one can catch him because he's archers and I've got infantry, and that's why, you know, we're only just probably halfway through the battle. So I'm going to stop the recording now because we can see what happens and just come back at like 165 or something. So this is going to take a couple of minutes for me, but literally you're going to see it right about now. Right, okay, yeah, so you can see the general chased it back from the red, you know, he was at the red line chasing another one. He's run back, it's run off that way, run into that, and now these units are chasing it down. So I will just forward that through quickly. Just want to see the end screen. I wouldn't have put this battle on if it wasn't the first one. But there you go. So yeah, you can see I've won, done quite well. But really it was hill camping and gold urbans that won it. So take of that what you will. Right, hopefully the next one will be better. See you next time, hopefully.